Welcome back to Idaho Today. In last week's Mom Matters, nutritionist Erin Green joined us to guide us through healthy eating around menopause. Now this week we explore part 2 of the conversation, focusing on protein, weightlifting, and the art of the grab and go.
You know, a very common one would be like dairy milk, natural cow's milk over, some kind of plant-based alternative. Those plant-based alternatives can have good protein in them, but a lot of them don't have it, and people don't realize it because it's all in the same spot. They don't realize it until they're actually forced to look at the label, or they're tracking it and they're going, oh, there's really not that much protein. And so I think it's really important for people to learn about what's in their food, but don't get so tied to the numbers that then you start like
panicking,
restricting and eating too little, because that will also decrease your muscle mass. If you're not eating enough, your body is going to try and conserve whatever it can to keep the essential functions going, your heartbeat, your lungs, your digestion, your brain, and your muscle mass is going to continue to shrink. You're not going to have the energy, and you're probably going to be pretty miserable.
Yes, your muscles will still deplete. Your energy is going to go south. Then you're not going to want to work out or lift weights.
Yes.
You have a couple examples here of what's to eat, and then I want to get into the whole topic of lifting weights.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
just thinking about, things that you can grab and go. So again, we're trying to minimize that restriction that is so common in perimenopause and menopause. If you are eating regularly, you are much more likely to feel kind of centered around your appetite and just food in general. You're going to have fewer kind of hunger swings and cravings that pop up. And then the protein items. So I brought a few different options. There's tons of bars out there that you can grab. Flip it over, look at the label, see how much protein is in there, and then think about that 20 to 30 gram target or more, and see how that plays into your day. Of course, dairy foods are really high in protein. There's lots of, meats tend to be like cooked, or you have to prepare them, so they tend to be more meal-based, but like jerky, there's different bars and stuff you can grab that are meat-based if you want a protein,
I didn't know
protein that way. Yep, there's bars that have egg white in them, so there's lots of different ways to put this together. I love little packets of nuts and seeds that you can take with you. Again, it's better than just grabbing like, a plain old granola bar that's just carbohydrates, or it's better than just grabbing crackers, or, the muffin that's in the break room or something like that. You're getting a little bit of that protein. And it's all grab and go stuff you can just kind of toss in your bag.
Okay, so we're eating our protein, but that's just a part of the equation to maintaining that muscle mass, and maybe even building some if you stay at it long enough, right? Let's talk about weightlifting. I mean, having been an endurance athlete for a very long time, cross-country skiing, running, what I've found, though, is really important, especially for maintaining that bone health, is actually lifting heavy weights. Let's talk about that.
Yes, you need to stress the muscles in order for them to get stronger. So, some people will think, oh, I just eat a ton of protein, but if you're just doing kind of cardiovascular exercise, still very good for you.
Yes,
but
I'll be swimming until the day I die.
Yes, exactly.
But
you've got to really stress those muscles. And this also helps with bone health, because in order to support stronger muscles that are putting more tension on the bone actually gets messaging that says you need to get stronger as well. So it works twofold for those women in that perimenopause and postmenopausal state where we're looking at bone health and trying to maintain muscle mass. So if you have one without the other, if you're just working in the weight room and you're not meeting your protein needs, or if you're just meeting your protein needs and you're not working in the weight room, you're only getting half of that equation. Again, still healthful habits, but if you can put them together, oh man, it makes such a difference. And I've worked with lots of women in that perimenopausal to postmenopausal state that just really feel the difference every day about meeting these needs.
And when you meet those needs too, it does help kind of balance all the other things that go along with the transition. I want to end our conversation really quick by sharing a quote that a very wise woman said to me, and she's also a physician, when I was first going through my experience, and I was like, my body, it's changing, and she stopped and she goes, well, of course your body's changing. It's supposed to change. Like, this is what's supposed to happen.
Yes.
So there's nothing wrong with you.
What a world we would live in if menopause and postmenopausal bodies were viewed as wise, experienced,
Yes.
you know, well-lived
Yes.
souls, instead of having this kind of judgment on how a woman should look or how bodies shouldn't change. I say
Yeah.
the same thing to people. Bodies are meant to change.
Yep.
And it's okay. And how can we embrace this in a way that actually feels good to us as we let our bodies be what they will be?
Yes, and make them the best they can be in that next stage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Erin, thank you. I know there's a lot more to talk about on this, so I'm going to
Plenty.
have you back.
Yes.